Welcome to my kit review of the AEC Matador from AFV Club in 1/35th scale. So this is a British artillery tractor used in World War II. This is the early type model, which has the more gentle sloping roof line. The later or mid to late types actually had like a flat curved front to it in a flat curved roof. So this is the early model. Having a look around the box, the only thing to note is there's some pictures of the finished model uncoloured. It does show you window masking, but there's no masks included in the kit. So what we'll do, let's have a look inside. The box is pretty much full with the tan coloured plastic. What I'll do is I'll take all the sprues out of the bags, save a bit of time and save a bit of noise. So we'll do that next. Okay, here's the first sprue. So this one contains a cargo bed roof and some of the canvas drop down sides, and then we've also got a bulkhead here. And these are planks. It doesn't have a wood grain as such, but it does have a texture to them, which is quite nice. You can see the rivet detail. There's the sides. So this is the rear canvas section. And then the part atop above it is the rolled up canvas, and I think I'll use this because once the sides and everything's on, there's a lot of detail inside the cargo bed that will be hidden, so I think I'll do all the canvas sides in the up position. Down the sides here, these are the same, so you get a plastic vinyl window for these. But again, I'll put these in the rolled up position, and that will be these here. And then that way we've got full access or full visibility to the inside. Another hatch here, a doorway. We've got some, I think it's the ejection pin marks on the underside of the roof. I'm guessing they're ejection pins because they're all different heights. They're not very consistent, so but these should be easy enough to clean up. Got a few frames here, headlights. And some brackets. There's absolutely zero flash in any of these parts. A few bits of, and very little seams as well. The next sprue. And this is what's surprising. So as I mentioned earlier, the mid to late models have like the flat front and this curved top. So I think you get the full sprue just for the sides of the cargo bed. Again, with that textured finish on it. There's no ejection pin marks at all been pressed out using these side ones. The gates aren't particularly small, but they should be easy enough to clean up. They're on the flat surface. I'm not sure if it's visible on camera. This will be the outside because there's lots of location marks for doing the cleats for the canvas side ropes. It's the rear tailgate. So that would be in the drop down position, and you've got foot holes to step up into the bed. That must be a battery box. I think it's a fuel tank there. And possibly the winch drum. That would be the spare wheel, I think. And a few really fine details here. Absolutely tiny. Next sprue we have here is the cargo bed. Again, it's got that texture. This will be the underside with all the frame locating points. It'll be the cab floor. There's actually moulded in like anti-slip treads on the tops of the wings for step up onto to get into the cab. And then we've got the engine hump between the driver and the passenger. This must be the inside surface of the doors, again that wood effect, and the outside is just smooth. I believe the cabs of these in real life were made of old coach building techniques, arch frames with metal skins on them. This will be the framework it would fit on the underside of the bed, and the chassis rails. Got a lot of detail on the side with bolt heads and rivets, etc. This bulkhead here, this must be the back of the carb wall. This is the first ejection pin marks we've actually seen on any of the parts. Again, we've got some on the frame rails, but these are in the inside surface, so you'll be fine. We've got really fine grab handles here molded onto the part as well, which is quite good. Okay, next one here. So you don't get a full engine, however, this is the underside and the sump, and this will fix to the chassis rails. Got a gearbox or transfer case here, and then we've got the differentials with bolt detail on them. It's the radiator surround, it fits to the front of the cab. I think that's the sump. We're going to here. And we've got the prop shafts in the leaf springs. We've actually looks like what's got sink marks in the centres. But based on location, probably not visible, or that would be easy to fill anyway. And a few little bits and pieces of detail. Okay, here's the one we were hoping for and looking for. So this is the early variant roof. You can see it's a lot gentle slope compared to the flat front, and this will be the cab we'll use. So I guess the only difference between this early model kit and the mid-production one is the inclusion of this sprue and some more detail on the inside of the cab front. And that looks to be some kind of, that possibly the side entrance into the cargo bed just behind the cab. nice. It's a real flat fronted vehicle. Okay, we get 2 sprues of these. So we have, I think that's the rear wheel arch or fender. And then you've got these tiny cleats. So that will be fixed to the sides of the cargo bed. And that's where you, I guess, tie your tarpaulin ropes onto for the canvas sides. Got that's the crew seats in the back of the cargo bed. And here we've got more here. They've got a texture to them as well, a wood effect. Various, I think that's the supports for the roof, the seat frame. More seats and more clasps. We've also got little tie rope eyes with the ferrule, so we must have to attach them to the rope that comes with the kit. So we've got 2 of them. We've got 2 of these next ones as well. So this will be for the wheels. So each of these sprues, you've got a front wheel and a back wheel. Various hubs and flanges on there. That must be the brake hubs. Must be the steering hub for the front. The detail on these parts are just fantastic. There's absolutely no flash at all so far. Everything's very crisp. There's no real, like that's smooth. I can't feel a seam line on that at all. That must be the exhaust, part of the exhaust. So we get 2 of them. And the last big sprue. Various components for the underside, I think. So we've got I think these are the front fenders. Got a couple of Pioneer tools. We've got a shovel here. Got an axe in an axe shaft. So it must be stored separately. And you have to join them together when you come to use them. And it looks like an interior seat for the passenger, possibly the driver. So we've got like a thin bracket here. This one's actually snapped. I'm not sure if that's clear to you, but it's split in 2 points. That should be easy enough to fix that. These look like storage boxes, and I believe they fit to the underside of the bed. I think these are rollers for the winch cables as well. Part's almost off. Some hooks at the front, and I believe these leaf springs here, they're actually part of the towing mechanism. There it goes. We've got a couple of last of the remaining sprues. I've kept this in the bag only because it's with some clear plastic parts, which will be some of the windows. They're flat, so there's no point taking them out. It looks like headlight lenses. This will be this is the interior carb detail. So with the engine cover, steering wheel, instrument panel, and a few of the control levers, gear knob. Again, more clear parts. Oh, looking at this, I believe this is for the door ones, and this one here is for if you want the glass in the open position. It still has a thin plastic frame up here, which I guess is used to locate within the door. So you can have the windows closed and the windows open. And then with some fuel cans. That'll be the body, that'll be the guard around the spout. Looks like we've got a little fuel, or oil, or filler there. It's broken off. You don't want to lose that. Kit comes with some decals, not a great deal based on type of vehicle it is. There's not very many markings. I won't take them out. We get some photo etch. We'll have a look at this in a minute as well. Get some photo etch, primarily for the radiator grills at the front there. That looks a jerry can shape or fuel can shape. I believe that's for the window, front drivers and passenger window in an open position. A few other bits and pieces. You get some thread, I'm guessing for the winch line. And then these are the vinyl windows I was talking about for the canvas sides. Because I guess because it's in canvas and you roll it, you need the vinyl, almost like a convertible soft top that you still get to do. So it's quite a nice touch. I won't be using them though. And then lastly, we've got the tires. So these are vinyl tires. You get 5 of them, the 4 road ones and the spare. Very clean. I would have preferred plastic, I think, but I'll have a look. There might be resin available. But you do have a centre seam line. It's not that great. That will soon scuff out. Can't see any manufacturers like Dunlop or whatever on the side. Yeah, that's them. So I'll have a look at the instruction manual next. So one thing to note about this, I've saw the mid-production kit and that comes with a glossy full colour instruction. This is just black and white on basic cheap paper. I'll zoom in a wee bit. So on the instructions, we've got the legend here for the different activities, a bit for applying decals, colour list, call out. So Gonsanyo, full range of hobby colour, Mr. Colour Spray, got Humble Revel, Revel, and Life Colour. And just gives you a bit of a breakdown of the different AEC family vehicles. AEC back in Britain are well known for doing double-decker buses after the war, and possibly before. This one looks really interesting with a Valentine track bogies to replace the wheels. I've seen a kit of this one by AFV Club as well, and you get a Rommel version which has a full interior with lots of radio gear and actually nice colours on it as well. Okay, into the build. First step, so we start off on the underside of the engine. That is the amount of engine you get, just the sump, a gearbox of some type, and then we've got the winch. I'm guessing based on this kind of drive for the winch, it'll be a power takeoff from a transfer case to operate that. Into the chassis rails, parts of the winch. Then moving into, here's the part that was broken on my kit. Yeah, that should be easy enough because it's plastic to plastic. We'll be able to glue that up easily enough. More pulley components here, winch components with pulleys, attaching the leaf springs. Then we've got the fuel tank. There must be an air reservoir or hydraulic reservoir maybe for brakes. Fuel tank. And then we're into the gearbox or transfer case with the prop shafts to the differentials. Starting to get pretty busy now. A lot of the smaller actuators and arms, the exhaust system, more prop shafts, and then into the wheel assemblies. So that looks like the big brake drums. And then headlights, so you've got an option of the different nighttime headlight covers. I think I'll go for that. That looks a bit more interesting than just a flat disc. Then into the cargo bed area. These are all the frameworks on the side. And here's the Pioneer tool, so they fit to the underside. And here's that hooks we were talking about. So F34 must be all that plastic cleats. And then G10, that will be the, oh yeah, so that's them. So they must be bent and fixed onto the side. They'll be very delicate and fragile, I think. Gluing the photo etch to the plastic. Handrail, and then a footstep. So this is the area to get into the cargo bed from the outside, just behind the driver's, just behind the passenger door. So here we go again. Here's all the sides going on, and the cleats and the hooks for the tarpaulin rope. Cargo boxes on the underside. Looks like we've got a photo etch frame here as well. That must be G12. Okay, that's this part. So. And that fits to the underside, and that looks like it holds the hand soap dispenser. Framework here, which will be plastic for the fuel cans or water cans, and they fit to the underside. And then we've got the wheel arches. So that was a battery box, and it looks like it lives inside the actual cargo area itself. And here's a spare wheel, lives in there as well, in the crew seats. And then just basically assembling all the sides and the tailgate and the front bulkhead of the cargo area. I think I'll have that rear tailgate in the down position, I think. and here's another. Okay, so you can have that in a rolled up position as well. It must be between the two. So the roof looks like it's supported on these supports here. And here's your two options of having the canvas flaps in the down position, and then you put that vinyl window in there, or you've got the option of having it rolled up. And I think I'll have it rolled up. A couple of reasons. One, there's a fair bit of detail inside, so you want to be able to see in. Also, having these as plastic in the down position, they're a bit flat and lifeless. It would be better for some kind of, folds and bends and that in it to show that it's actually soft rather than they look very hard. Into the driver compartment now, so all his controls, foot controls, steering column, various levers. I'm guessing for brakes and possibly transfer case control. Looks like one of the seats, I'm guessing. Yeah, there's a lot of detail here. Seat rest or seat back pads. Radio gear perhaps. And then the front cab itself. So we've got options here, which I think will be referring to, I'm not very sure, I have to see what these are. It must be for the doors, to be open or closed possibly. Instrument panel. And here's the option to have either flat, closed front windscreens, or you can have them open with the photo etch to have them open in an angle. So this shows one closed, one open. I think I'll go for them both open. There's some kind of shelf, that was a photo etch part on the front. It seems strange having just like a sheet metal bracket sticking out the front of the car, but I'm not sure. And then we've got the photo etch radiator grill. Onto the doors here, so here's your option of having the windows closed or the windows partially open. And it shows the door can be open or closed as well. I'm not sure if both can be done or just one side. And then it looks like finally we take all the assemblies together. So we've got the chassis, cab, and the bed, and the roof. It's in no glue. Possibly for this, I'm not sure. Here's an entrance into the cargo area for the crew. I wonder if that can be open or closed. I think you've probably got the choice of that one as well. And then finally the colour options. So to me, I think A and C is the only viable options you've got. So it's a 79 Scottish Horse Medium Regiment, Scotland, May 1941, and Scotland, May 1941. So they're both from the same regiment and time frame. This option B, Unit Unknown, 1940. I don't know why you'd even include this, because it's just got the exact same camouflage options as a known regiment or known vehicle. So yeah, that seems pointless. The other one is obviously a captured vehicle for the Luftwaffe, but again, there's no time frame allocation, and it's just an overall German grey, which that is enough. The Germans have got enough vehicles of their own. So it's really between these two. Because I'm going for the canvas sides up, I think I'll go with this version here purely because it's got a more interesting camouflage pattern along the side, it will remain. You're not losing anything by having these in the up position. On option A, if we put these in the up position, you've got quite a bland pattern, very little pattern actually. And then this roof pattern actually looks a lot more interesting. Same in the back, although that will be rolled up, so that won't matter. Yeah, I think I'll go with that option then. And then just parts list. Apparently, if you're missing or broken parts, you can send to AFV Club and get replacements. Okay, so that's it. On the whole, I'm very impressed with this kit. The actual components and parts are very crisp and sharp. There's zero flashing, very little ejection pin marks, and the few that were there in places it can't be seen. Without cutting the parts off with Sprue to check, but even the seam lines between the two mould halves are negligible. Yeah, I think this will build into a very nice kit. Thanks for watching.